welcome YouTube family. Welcome to another special edition of the Raise Hell Praise Dale podcast.
Yes,
Got a
sir.
couple special guests with us today. Uh,
Sir.
kind of trying to branch out here. First things first, I am Voodoo.
I'm JT Dallas. You want to introduce ourselves or introduce
We,
yourselves?
yeah, we
Sure.
got the guys from the
Wrap it
Wrap It
up.
Up podcast. So
I'm Aaron Hurd,
I'm Justin Harris.
and we're the Wrap It Up guys.
That's it.
Heck yeah. Awesome. So, one reason that I kind of wanted to bring you guys in is I've been watching your podcast for a few months,
Yeah,
and I think you guys are hilarious.
appreciate
And
that.
oh yeah. So, just go ahead.
We weren't sure if we were giving off the idea of funny or mentally ill, so we didn't know. We're glad to get the feedback that it's coming across in the right way.
Well, I think we have the same problem because sometimes it just
Feel you.
it comes and goes like that. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right.
the right mixture of both is where it needs to be at anyway. So
Right.
There you
works
go.
out.
So, starting out, I want to hear about how you guys started and where you started loving NASCAR and all that good stuff. So,
Well, that's great. Yeah, you go first.
Okay, so yeah, I have grown up here in the Bristol region my whole life. Started going to Bristol back in the late 80s. I vaguely remember sitting at the track when there was like just grass banks, just concrete, few concrete bleachers.
the good old days, huh?
I do remember vividly the Darrell Waltrip's night race win in 1992. It was like the first race they put concrete down, I think. So I was probably like 8, 9 years old at that point. So, and yeah, been going there ever since. And then I met this guy a few years ago, and then we started branching out and like going to a lot of NASCAR races. So that was cool. Experience different tracks.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, we've been every year we do about usually 8, 7, 8 somewhere in there, different races that we're going to, and then we were like, maybe we're to just start recording some of this,
Man,
and
that-
just see what's going on, and so I started watching NASCAR. I think it was 1987, and I
Nice.
would have been like 9, I believe, and DW was driving the Tide car, and I was like, that looks cool.
Oh
And
yeah.
So I became a DW fan off the bat and watched NASCAR ever since then. And then I got into college, and my passion for the sport allowed me to be able to do some research. And so for my doctoral dissertation, I wrote about the leadership of NASCAR throughout its history. And that was not really a fun thing. Writing a 200-page paper is never fun. But at least I got to do it about something I love. So
Right.
that's been an interesting experience and opened some interesting doors for us. And so, again, it was another reason we're like, hey, let's make a show about how ignorant we are. So,
Oh, that's kind of the same idea me and him had when we formed RHPD. Since you
Well,
guys,
not technically. You had it started before we even met.
yeah, but I don't even count that. It was bad enough. I don't count. But we just hit our year mark for
wow.
RHPD,
Okay.
so we're just now starting, but we're growing on the way.
this is season 3 for us. So, like,
Oh,
we're
nice.
not much farther ahead of you. And, we're both small channels. So it's
Yeah.
good to get to talk to somebody else who's, like, feeling the pain.
Yeah.
Oh
And
yeah.
understands how
Oh, yeah.
empty
I- I just won't
the
bring
echo
up.
is.
I just won't bring up my birth year too much for y'all, since y'all were attending NASCAR races in the late
The
'80s.
80s. Are you
Uh,
very much younger?
I was born in '86, so
Ah, okay. Well, that's not bad.
Yeah,
I got
well,
one
for
for you guys. I'm a
He's only
2000.
he's only 2 years older. So
Yeah.
that's not too bad.
I'm a
there's a little
2000.
baby over there.
Where
But
are you guys at? Where y'all based
So-
out of?
So I'm based out of Oklahoma, which
Okay.
is a dry spell for NASCAR. The only thing we got going is
Yeah, for
45 minutes up the road. I got the Chili Bowl,
Mm.
and but my grandma, she has been watching racing since Bill France. Let's be honest. So when I was little, every Sunday we'd go to church, and as soon as we get back, NASCAR was on. Nobody touches the TV.
Right.
So that's what kind of kindled my love for it. And then I quit watching it when I got a little older. I just thought that was just something my grandma did. And one of my buddies hit me up after we graduated. And he's like, "You'll never guess, I found this new sport," which I've always been a collector, but from the points that I wasn't really watching, I put all my stuff up. It just was in the way. And he was like, "Oh, come watch this with me Sunday." And I was like, "Okay." I was thinking it was going to be something stupid. And then he puts the race on. I was like, "Bro, you have no idea." So that next week we go to my family's storage unit and I pull everything out. And he's like, "Oh my God." So, I mean, that's kind of what that rekindling with one of my buddies was kind of like what started the podcast. Because before we did a video cast, I was just doing it on Spotify. And basically all it was me reading off kind of what happened in the race. Super boring. I hated it. It got to be the point where I hated it.
Oh,
and then
I don't do that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then I met this guy, which we didn't even meet really through a NASCAR or anything. We just were playing Xbox together one day, playing GTA, and then one conversation led to the other, and I was like, "Man, this guy likes NASCAR." And then so we started going from there. Yeah. We figured out that we're both Johnson fans. So.
Ah, well.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard, Aaron, that you were a Busch fan, but I won't hold it against you.
I am. It's
I'm
supposed to be
pulling for him to get a win this year. So
I'm not gonna lie. This year, I think he needs a win.
He's old enough, and with the Chevy, and now everybody feels sorry for him that he doesn't win constantly. That it's okay to be a fan. I paid all the dues for the first 20 years there of dealing with it. But.
I will say though, speaking of Busch, and not jumping over your story, Martin, but I've been watching Brexton Busch. When he makes it to the Cup Series, he's gonna be a force. But I got to watch his Chili Bowl stuff, and it was insane.
Yeah,
well, I mean, he did perform better than his dad at the Chili Bowl.
That's facts. He left with a driller, and his dad did not. So
he's just genetically engineered to be a race car driver. This kid,
100%
guaranteed. He's already got deals with Spire to run trucks.
Fact.
And if that RCR thing that he handed him is true, he's already got an Xfinity deal. So, dear God, I mean, at 8 years old,
got his life.
I had
set
a go
up.
kart.
Yeah, he ain't got no problems.
Crazy.
All right, I'm done with my spiel. Go ahead.
All right. So as far as I'm down in southern Mississippi, so what did we say? It was about 7 hours, something like that.
It was closer to 9, honestly, because it was like 8.5.
But anywho's, so my closest one would be Talladega. Be my closest race. I've been there, probably 4 or 5 times now. Okay. It's about a 5.5, 6 hour drive away, so it's not too terrible. Probably my closest track. Wow. But when I first got into NASCAR, I was in the military at the time, and I was actually stationed out in Hawaii, and started my collection out there. That's where some of these diecast originated from, was when I was out there. That would have been 2006 when I was out there. Started that collection. Left Hawaii and moved to Texas, and actually was stationed at Fort Hood, and they had a kind of a partnership with the base and Red Cross. So they came out to the base, took a bunch of soldiers in uniform out to Texas Motor Speedway, and we actually got to go to the infield and line up for driver intros. So the drivers actually walked down the middle of us, and
Sweet.
That's where is that? Here it is. This diecast here I took with me, and I actually got Jimmy Johnson to sign it on the hood there.
Nice.
Back in 2009.
Okay.
Yeah, and he likes rubbing it in my face every time he gets a chance.
I sure do. Also, the helmet right there that we got at Talladega.
One of his 2 wins we were at. We saw him win at Bristol. We saw him win somewhere else. Where else did he win that we were at? It had to be
Martinsville.
It had to be Martinsville, right?
I guess it was, yeah.
One of them was autographed. I think I just sold it. Man, I had an issue with diecast, a bad issue, and I'm in recovery now. I am trying to sell.
Listen,
I'm down to, in 124th Lionel, I'm down to just over 200. I've sold more than half my collection.
And I thought I had a problem. So
I had every Kyle Busch car ever made.
I say that
a whole wall, like it was kind of ridiculous.
If I took your guys around my house, my whole house is filled up. But I mainly collect 164s. It's just something I've always done.
I wish I had.
Oh man, My wife hates it because I'm pushing like easy 400 164s. And then like anything else with the NASCAR brand on it, I have to have like you can kind of see the clocks behind me. Yeah.
I've got a DW wooden clock like that.
Oh yeah, that's
from back in the 80s, one of those deals. Yeah.
One of the coolest things I have is it's a custom car that my best friend got me for my birthday, and it's a when Jimmy ran with Herzog in the '98 Pennzoil.
Oh yeah,
I've got a custom one of those that we were trying to get him to sign in Texas, but we could never get a hold of him. Yeah.
But they're slippery, these drivers.
Oh yeah,
it's hard to slow them down.
So speaking of that, you guys can see our hats and stuff. We got to go to Nashville this year together.
Ah, okay.
Which it was a lot of fun. Awesome. We caught a lot of good drivers. But that's like all we did before the pre-show is just search drivers.
Right.
So do you guys have any like racetracks that like since you've started the podcast, like that you've loved to go to and like is your favorite memory of them?
You want to go? You want me to?
As far as podcasts, like filming, Martinsville is probably the best for us because you can literally stand behind like a little piece of tape, and the drivers will either walk by, like right by you to the drivers' meeting, or they come by in golf carts, like some of the ones that are snooty. But so yeah, that's good filming opportunities.
Yeah.
For Martinsville.
Yeah, usually I think anything we filmed talking to drivers has been Martinsville for the most part.
Yeah.
And but my favorite track is Martinsville, just personally.
Yeah.
We never. When was the first time we went to Martinsville? What was that, like 2012, 2013?
Like, first time I went, Matt Kenseth won when he was still in the 20, the Dollar General. And then like the year after that, so probably 13, because then we Earnhardt Jr. won in 14.
Yeah.
So I think it probably was 13.
Yeah.
The first time we went to Martinsville.
And I don't think we might have only went to one the first year, but since then, since 2014, we've been to both. We haven't missed a Martinsville since then.
Yeah, because it's only 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours. It's very small roads though. The roads suck.
Yeah.
And they've been doing road work on them since what? I don't know, 1843 or something.
That's about right.
So, but Bristol, of course, we're in Bristol.
It's Bristol, baby.
And the track is literally from where we're sitting right now. What do you think? Like, if we had a helicopter, probably
5 minutes.
5 miles. Yeah.
Man.
But driving, I mean, maybe 12.
Yeah.
So, well.
Insane.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
it's cool being in Bristol, and the race weekend's fun and everything, but the rest of the time being in Bristol is not like, NASCAR town at all.
Yeah.
It's nothing else is here. We got a casino now, though. So.
That's about all we got around here is casinos.
Really. We just got this. We're the first people in Virginia ever to have one. So we were so poor, they said we could. They gave up every other logical reason we could make money and said, "You get a casino."
Nice. See, I'm right in the middle of like Native American territory. So you throw a rock, you'll hit a casino.
I got to drive about an hour and a half to get to a casino for me.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I could walk to a casino from here.
It used to be several hours for us.
Yeah. I will say Talladega is probably, in my opinion, the best fan experience.
It's pretty good.
Of any track.
Talladega is fun.
It's
so
fun.
I've never seen a race at Talladega, but in 23, my family, before me and him even got together with the podcast, we went to Darlington and we made like a whole NASCAR trip. So from us, we went up through Nashville, stopped at the track there. We were going to hit Bristol, but we got crunched for time. So we went through Kentucky and hit Charlotte. While we were at Charlotte, we went and seen the NASCAR Hall of Fame and the track. Then we watched the race in Darlington, which that was a whole experience on its own. It was really cool. We got pit passes, got to sign the track. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
And then from there, we left and went to Talladega and got to see the tour through Talladega, where they take you in a bus. You can go up to like the Fox broadcast booth and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun. You climb up on the track and stuff. was definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then on our way back, we hit Texas. So
Oh wow. Cool.
definitely a fun trip, but I will never do that again.
Yeah, it sounds like a big one. Definitely.
Oh yeah. So we took a week to do it, but I would much rather have had like 2 weeks because it was like, okay, we're gonna sleep here tonight. We're gonna leave here first thing in the morning. We're gonna go here.
Right.
Yeah, it was
Non-stop.
awful.
Yeah.
But
yeah, well, we're gonna like this year. The way the schedule falls, we were talking before we got here to talk with you guys. Like 4 of our normal races are in a row. We're like, crap,
yeah.
that's hard to pull off. We don't know.
Yeah.
So Martinsville, Bristol, we can't miss those 2.
And Darlington's all back to back.
Yeah, and so Darlington. Then we were going to go Spring Dega, but I think maybe we're going to wait till fall because it's just too many in a row to. We're not as young as we used to be. We can't party that hard. So.
I'm gonna try and go to both Degas. We'll see.
I'm gonna try to make
We need to meet up in the fall. Then when we come in. We need to meet up and film something to be awesome.
Yeah, that would be
come
pretty
and
cool.
scream at random people with us.
That would be a
sounds
lot
like
of fun. Well, if y'all guys can make it in the fall, I'm gonna see if I can't make it happen then.
It's pretty good guarantee we'll be there.
Right now, what we're looking at. So last year, I just want to shout out to my wife. She's awesome. I asked her what she wanted to do for her birthday, and Texas was on her birthday weekend, and she's like, "Well, let's just go down there and see a race." And I was like,
"Dang,
I'm not gonna complain about it." We ended up getting to meet Martin Truex Jr. and Austin Dillon. It was pretty fun, honestly, just for like a last minute thing. Yeah, so we're talking about either going to Texas this year or Kansas because I'm directly in the middle of it. Like it's the same distance either way. But I mean, if we're all gonna try to meet at Dega, I might try to swing that one.
Well, hey, and like I said, we'll be at Darlington, Martinsville, Bristol, both of Martinsvilles, both Bristols. What else are we missing? That's only like Roval. We always go to Roval.
Always go to Roval.
We go to
sometimes we go to Atlanta, but it's almost farther than us to go to Atlanta than it is to Dega for some reason.
Yeah.
That's kind of my next track I want to go hit up is Atlanta. I haven't been there yet.
I would cool, love, especially we went to the first year with the repave, so second race with the repave.
Yep.
And it was awesome, but the traffic is terrible. Like getting out of the place, like the parking lots.
I bet
maybe the worst.
Oh
yeah. That sucked, but the track was cool. Mm-hmm. It's just so far away.
It is.
We're missing something else. What are we?
It's a couple hours further away from me than Dega is.
Yeah.
But I've only been to Texas, Dega, and then Nashville.
Nashville. We've been to Nashville. What year was that?
Whenever the first year they brought it back to the Super Speedway.
Was that the first one?
Like 2 years. Whenever Larson dominated,
have we only been there once?
Race. We've only been there once.
I went to a truck race.
You went back. I've only been there once.
Well, when we went, it was so hot, and then it rained, and everybody got sick. And
it was burning up when we were there. It was kind of miserable, but I still was like, "Hey, this is fun."
Yeah,
I was just happy that the seats were in the shade. That was my whole.
Yeah,
I'm like, yes,
ours
shade.
Were not. So when we went, it was the 4th of July weekend, which we made a cool little vacation out of it. Which is actually the first time we met up face to face. So we got to do that, and then it got so hot that like his family was getting sick, mine was starting to get sick. So with 50 laps to go, we were like, well, let's just go to the hotel. You know, everybody's getting too sick. So we get back to the hotel and see that they're still in overtime, and that was the race that Joey Logano won after like the 8th overtime. Oh man, it was.
Yeah.
We were glad we went back because we still got to see the race, but
yeah, right.
Yeah, we got to see the race. We got a bunch of signatures. We got some memorabilia and stuff. And
yeah, we got to do an awesome giveaway while we were there. That was pretty cool. So, but
any good wins the races you guys have been at? Anything other than that Joey Logano 8th time there that blows your mind? That sticks out to you?
Well. Unfortunately, every time I went to Texas, it was like Jimmy Johnson was cursed to crash in the first like 5 to 10 laps. So that kind of hurt. But Talladega, I've only been to the last couple times, the last 2 or 3 years. I've gone to multiple races there. I would honestly say the most exciting race was probably this past one when Tyler Reddick came through. And pulled out that win after the rest of the field.
Oh, yeah.
He was hauling, yeah.
When
LaJoy ended up on his top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wished we were at that one. That was a cool one.
Yeah. Unfortunately, all the Toyotas took themselves out, but, you know.
Yeah.
Man, I don't really have any special ones. Like I got to see Bubba Wallace win in Kansas. That was the first race I got to go to.
We were at his other win at Dega.
Yeah.
When he got the rain shortened one.
Yeah.
That one weekend.
Awesome.
What was that? 23.
And then I've watched Kyle Larson win twice.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And then
win.
Joey winning. So that's all I've been to. Well,
yeah, that's not bad.
We
were at the greatest NASCAR race that ever has taken place.
Yeah.
The 2015 Martinsville, Matt Kenseth into Joey Logano, Jeff Gordon's last win.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I'm telling you, I've been to a lot of places and big crowds and things. Like, it was like the earth was ending, guys. Like, people lost their mind. It's it just the world levitated when Kenseth took him out. It was just like, it was one of the most mind-blowing experiences of my life.
They're pretty fired up.
Yeah.
Man, that kind of I'm sorry, guys. I should have said I have a list of questions for you guys.
Oh, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
So,
Sorry.
well, we're kind of covering them as we talk, so I'm not too upset about it. I'm just saying.
Sorry, we're just chatty. We're just
no. Don't worry, I am too. But that kind of brought me on the subject of one of them is if you could be at any race in NASCAR history, no matter what year it was or anything, which one would you pick?
Oof. Dang, that's a hard one. I would, if I hadn't been at that 2015, I would have said it.
I don't even think I have an answer to this question. So
really,
it's a hard one.
I think just for the emotional experience, the Earnhardt's 500 win probably would have been
the 98.
Pretty sick to be there.
Yeah,
I would say.
I mean, that's pretty big in all of history of NASCAR, I guess. I would have. I don't know. I would have loved to, being my first favorite driver, I would have loved to have been at something and seen DW win. Especially in the Western Auto car.
Yeah.
That's my favorite paint scheme of all time. So, I would have, his last win, Darlington 92, that would have been killer. Or Terry Labonte. I was a big Terry Labonte fan. I would have loved to have been at Bristol when Terry and Dale had their mix-ups.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been amazing. I was about 45 minutes away where I grew up watching it on TV, so it would have been awesome to be here.
It was awesome.
You were there.
I was at both.
Yeah.
It was nice.
I wouldn't mind being in a race that Jimmy Johnson would have won, but maybe he'll pull it off here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, hey.
I hope so.
500.
I think I've been at 8 Kyle wins, the most out of anybody. I've been lucky. But then again, we go to a lot of short tracks, and maybe he's just good at that. So, I don't know.
Man, it's kind of I've got two answers to this question. I was thinking about it. I would have loved to have been at the first green flag to checkered show, then 79, because that's when Allison Brothers.
Right, yeah.
I could be wrong.
Yarborough. Yeah.
Yeah, where they all three
I
were
thought about
fighting.
that when you were mentioning it. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
So that would be my first one. My second one that's a lot more modern is I would have loved to seen Phoenix, not this last year, but the year before, solely because I would have loved to rip Christopher Bell's pit crew a new one. Because I'm still salty about it. I don't care. I'm a Bell fan, guys. He's a Oklahoma native, so I can't help but
Yeah, I get it.
I'm picking him to win the cup again this year.
Oh, you and me both. You and me both.
I can see it for sure. I could definitely see it.
He's doing
Hey,
it.
We all know it's not going to be Logano, so
no, it's an odd year.
I didn't think it was going to be Logano last year either.
It'll be
was
next
like,
year. Next year.
Yeah, next year's Logano's year again. Every other year deal, right?
Man, if you guys could change any part of the playoff, what would it be?
Oh,
man, that's a big one too. I think I would take it down. Well, I was about to make a list all of a sudden, and I was like, no, one thing. Take it down to 12 people or 10 people again,
Well,
it used to be.
Okay, so let me, I guess, rephrase the question, because if you could change the playoffs in any way, get rid of them or whatever, what would be your?
I mean, I'm okay with them in this modern era. I mean, we all fondly look back at, how points used to work back when I was a little kid and watching it and stuff. But I also remember a couple times, we're Atlanta and they already know who basically who's going to win the cup and stuff.
Yeah.
So I get modern day, you need that last race to be a Super Bowl and mean something. It does suck that one race picks out of the 4 guys, though. I think there should maybe be I want there to be less people in the playoffs because I think half the field in there kind of dilutes it.
Right.
But I also want there to be something that is more than just finish this race ahead of guys. Maybe like a 4-race thing at the end. Whoever's got the best average out of 4 guys or something. I don't know.
I was thinking like a 3-race championship
or
round.
3.
Nice.
Yeah, something more than just one race. Because a bad pit stop, something mechanical goes, and the whole season's ruined.
Where your pit crew screws your brakes over.
Right. Right.
I mean, not that it's going to super impact the playoffs this season, but what do y'all think about the Xfinity fastest lap point getting added in there?
I think that's cool. It's kind of like old school, because it used to be like you led a lap, you got a point. And what you led the most laps, you got
Most
like
laps
5
you got.
points or something.
Yeah.
So whoever's got the fastest lap now and all the series gets an extra bonus point. That could make a difference. Wasn't somebody tied last year going from to round of 8 or something? Wasn't there a tie and they had to break it?
So in the Xfinity series,
I think so. Yeah, Xfinity.
I was thinking
I
in
don't
Cup,
remember
there
who it
was
was, but
2 of the low people. Anyway, but this is going to be in Cup and everything, trucks, everything supposedly. But if there's a tie to break it, I mean, just running one fast lap could make a difference. I mean, that's cool. It adds a little something to it.
Yeah, I think it'll spice it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But like you mentioned, having the field dilute a little bit, I'm thinking more of like maybe a chase, like back to the chase for the Cup style playoff, and have maybe, I don't know, 6 or 7 races there for the whole field, and then knock it down to your championship 4, and the last 3 races will be that championship round.
Yeah.
And it's just the top 3. It's no win and you're in type situation.
You got to go. Yeah.
I understand the win and you're in. So because like what you were saying, where you don't want to get to Atlanta and be like, well, I know who's winning this one. Why even watch it?
Right.
I get that because like Harrison Burton's upset last season, like it was an upset. It made it more interesting.
Yeah.
At the same time, I wish they would change the playoffs just a little bit. Like, like you guys are saying, lower it down to like maybe 12 instead of doing rounds. Just have like points all the way up until the last 3. Again, like you were saying,
Right.
and then drop it from there to 4.
Yeah, I can see that. Totally. It'd make more sense in the long run. But my whole thing with just so many people being in there, I feel like it's nothing but like those guys that are like 16th, 15th, 14th. Usually they just made this up so they can tell sponsors, look, I'm in the playoff, to try to get more money out of them. Like there's no benefit. I mean, usually every year, no, not every year, but usually every year, that 16th place guy, he's not going to be the Cup champion, right?
Except for this year.
But maybe one year they'll pull it off. You never know. Somebody will do it sooner or later, I guess. I mean, but I counted Tony Stewart out that one time. He showed up and won 5 races, so I'm like, well, okay, whatever. Yeah. Who knows anymore? Who knows what's going to happen? It's got so hard to predict. I feel like we were better at predicting back in the day, and now it's like we predict on the show and stuff who's going to win, and we get it wrong constantly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're so far off.
You can throw a dang rock out and hit about 6, 7 people that could win that race that weekend.
Right, yeah.
And that's only by like statistical standards. And you got
and then you got the outliers that just randomly win here and there. So
right.
I think a lot of that is because of this newer car that's kind of leveling out the field. As much as I hate it, I kind of like it. I wish they would up the horsepower just to make it a little bit more of a show. That, and I wish that they would, like in super speedways and stuff, kind of do something about the fuel saving.
Yeah.
Because I mean, let's be honest, the Daytona 500 is supposed to be like the most exciting race, and there's the one big one usually. But if everybody's fuel saving until you hit that point, you're not gonna.
Yeah. Just wasting time and laps, right?
Pretty much. Hate the fuel saving.
Somebody's car breaks down, I mean, that used to be historically a lot of the way it was. You ran a lot of laps because they wanted to. It was an idea of like, okay, it's not just about the driver. Can the car make
attrition,
it? You'd blow engines all the time and crap, Now nothing fails hardly, so it's kind of like, okay, we're just clicking off time here.
It's crazy. Like in the past 3 or 4 years, there's only been like 2 or 3 blown engines that weren't because of an accident.
Yeah.
Right. So now I think the car has been tuned in so well that it's time to change up the tactic because obviously the attrition, the cars can handle it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, absolutely.
Well, for like Daytona and Talladega and I guess Atlanta too now, I think they should change up how they kind of do the stages to prevent that fuel saving. Like whatever that pit window is,
Right.
shave it down to just like 5 laps inside that pit window and keep it there. That way you don't have to worry about that fuel saving garbage.
Something happen. That's one thing I hate about like the truck series. Like you go, and unless somebody wrecks, they're definitely going to make it on fuel. Like they never come close with their stages to running out of fuel. So it's, you're never creating that tension about getting on and off pit road and pit stops and all that extra action.
It seems like it's the same way in ARCA as well. Their
ARCA,
races are just so short that
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, let's see what else I got here. Here's a pretty good one. If you could bring back any sponsor from the past in NASCAR, what would you think would be a great sponsor?
Dang, that's a great question.
Can't pick M&Ms.
Oh.
I
don't
said
want,
any
you know what?
sponsor.
After I owned every paint scheme that Kyle Busch had, you know how many variants of M&Ms they put on those cars, fellas? I've seen enough M&Ms. I'm done. I've spent a lot of money on M&Ms, folks.
I bet.
Like,
Man.
eatable and uneatable.
Sounds like me with Lowe's. I spent a
Lowe's,
lot
yeah,
of money on
iconic.
Lowe's. Questions?
I love that Western Auto thing. I mean, they're out of business.
In my mind, I'm thinking of like what the car looked like. Maybe
Yeah.
not necessarily the sponsor, but so I don't know if I brought back a sponsor.
Maybe Kellogg's. I'd like to see Kellogg's run on something.
Well, yeah.
That
Even like when Edwards had it, it was cool still
Yeah.
to see Kellogg's out there. Let's see.
With the Tony the Tiger.
Let me see
on
if I can get a shot. Wait, we don't. Yeah, I thought we had a Tony the Tiger shot. Hold on.
Sorry, guys, the voices in my head are bothering me.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
There's if you can see behind Justin there's a good Tony the Tiger. That's off a Tara Labonte car from Charlotte.
well, if we're showing off sheet metal, hang on a minute.
Oh, you got some sheet metal?
Hey.
Oh, show
I've
us,
got a
man.
little bit. It's right.
Ooh.
I don't have any
I've
sheet
got
metal.
2 pieces technically. One I just got. It's right there.
Do we have any?
One I just got, and I'm in love with it solely because I'm fat. This is a piece of Ricky Stenthouse's
Hey.
The taco.
El Paso car. Yeah,
Yes.
I caught it on sale for like $35. I got super lucky.
I
The other
think I
one's
saw
hanging
that
out.
online, honestly, and I was like, "That's just kind of cool." Just
So I have been stalking. I'm just gonna say it because I love their site, the Racing Warehouse. I don't know if you guys.
Oh yeah.
I have been absolutely stalking their Facebook page. Like every time I get paid, I get something, and it's
Eric, the owner. He's originally from Bristol, also.
Oh,
Lives down
really?
there. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
I've been getting stuff from him before he was even racing Warehouse years ago.
Oh man,
and
that
stuff
would
like if I could just within sight at this moment, there's a half a car at least or more. But I had a lot more. I've sold.
I
I've
haven't
sold
sold anything.
quite a bit of metal. I got carried away there for a few years, but
I need to
See,
get
I
me
haven't
some
sold
Gun Club.
anything. I've been accumulating. Speaking of accumulating, I'm still salty about the helmet that's behind Martin. Because when we were in Nashville, I got so close to buying it, and my wife was joking with me and said, "Don't buy it," but I didn't think she was joking with me.
right, yeah.
So, yeah, he ended up buying it, and then as soon as he bought it, she called me. He's like, "Oh, you can go ahead and get it." I was like, "Oh, yeah." But like I said, I collect everything that has the NASCAR logo on it, like
lot of stuff.
video games, Little Debbie's boxes, you name it. I probably have it.
Justin, wait, no, you didn't. We give away stuff like every week. We try to anyway. We always have, and so we got some great deals on some shirts and stuff that we can give to people. It's never been worn.
Oh yeah.
But we also have some stuff that people gave us. That's stuff like that. Like we have like Kellogg's boxes over there. I think with just like Earnhardt on them.
Let me see that one.
And I'm like, should we send somebody Kellogg's boxes in the mail? I don't know.
I mean, it's such to the point that all the people around me know what to get me.
Yeah.
Like even the stores around where I live are like, "Hey,
They're
you
saving
want
stuff
this?"
for you? Yeah, right.
They can send us Kellogg's.
Oh, and then like that come from the Family Dollar right here. I seen it and I was like, "Hey, what are y'all doing with that?" Well, my wife did. I'm sorry.
There you go.
And then like one of our family members that works at like a Shell station found these in a back room, and it's got the 07 08 NASCAR schedule in it.
Oh wow.
And it's got still in package, everything. They found it in a box. She's like, I thought it was NASCAR. I thought you'd like it. So
That's awesome.
I need more stores like that around here.
Right?
Huh?
I don't have anything like that around here.
Normal Kellogg's car. You can
It's
show.
too far
You
away
can show
from
them your.
tracks. Man, you come here and go to
You
like
show 'em your,
antique
Ernie
stores and
Irving
stuff.
cars.
It's just tons
Skittles.
of merchandise
Yep.
because so much has been here.
We can just pull them off.
Bristol stuff like programs and little 164th cars from the Bristol races.
Man, it's like I said earlier. We're in a huge dry spell. If it's not dirt track, it's not around here.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I would love to go to Bristol. I feel like that would be an epic racetrack
Oh,
to
yeah.
go watch.
It's fun.
A race
I
at.
feel- I feel like it'd be
very
fun.
I
It's my
guess
second
Oh, we
favorite.
might be
We
going
get-
to Dayton in the fall.
we get used
but,
to
you
it
know,
because we're here all the time, but it
in
is
the fall.
a really cool race.
Yeah.
for
all
sure.
of them.
Definitely. Well,
Man.
I'll have to look at the
but you'll
schedule.
have an amazing race, and then you'll have a terrible race.
Oh yeah, the spring race last year
Just
when they had the crazy tire
don't know.
fall off was the best race I'd been to as far as
It's
racing.
not
Ooh.
all the time.
It was good.
Yeah,
But
I
then
bet
the
that would've
fall
been
one,
nice to
not
get.
so much.
I think I don't
all
know.
that marbling on the track.
Man,
Yeah.
well, I'm sorry I talk about my collection. It's like my pride and
No,
joy.
go right ahead.
But
We're collecting.
one of the coolest things I've gotten, which I got from around here, I've just seen it on Facebook Marketplace, like right down the road from my parents' house, is I have a Goodyear tire. It's in the shed. I'm not going to get it. That is
Get it now.
it's the Support Our Troops from the 2007 Charlotte.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, it's the one that they only ran the one, that year. I caught it for $50, and I was like, I'm going.
Heck yeah.
Sweet.
I told you you could get it down. Yeah, my wife. It's got to the point that like my wife has started collecting
like shopping.
because she likes shopping. So she's got these. You want to show them or you want me to? Okay. Ugh. So we got this set while we were in Texas,
No, we were on our trip with
Nashville.
Yeah, no, we were in Texas. Sorry.
Okay.
We, were at
We got
the-
this set in
Wasn't
Texas.
Nashville.
It's
Kenny
the
Slater?
Ernie Irving.
Yeah,
Ernie
we
Irving.
were-
Wildberry.
we were
And-
from,
That's my second.
Yeah,
one.
that's right. And he has signed it.
Oh.
Hang on, let me see if I can focus. So that's his signature, and then his son's signature is on
Oh,
top
wow,
of both
yeah.
of them. Yeah, so we caught some of them,
It
and
has a certificate too. I don't know what you do with mine.
it's somewhere on here. I don't know. But yeah, so I don't know. That's one of my favorite things is collecting. And my wife is not happy about it.
Mine either. Mine either.
Yeah.
Now that I started selling some and
you
cutting
missed
back,
it.
mine's like
You would have been
What?
be thankful I don't have as many 124s because he said that he still has like, what did you say, 200?
over 200.
Yeah.
At one
and he
point I
sold
was at
half of them.
238, I believe.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm sorry, 438 was is the highest I got.
Oh yeah. See, you're lucky.
That would be.
I
A
have
good
like
collection.
15 124s.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, he's in his color box.
just you're barely doing anything. I'll post a picture or something.
Awesome.
Or multiple
I
pictures.
feel
You can't
like
get it all in
I'm,
one picture. It took 4 walls to hold it all.
I feel like I'm slacking.
They
I
put
only
me
got
on
like
a
30
joke.
something,
One time I sent
124.
something in years ago, and they put me on a Lionel ad
Awesome.
because I had so many cars. They just the picture. They didn't ask me or anything. They just took the picture I had online and put it in their ad. It's like, what the
Yeah.
crap?
Right.
At least give me a couple more die casts for that.
Exactly. Or something.
But yeah, so like collecting's always been one thing that it started with my grandma, honestly. She collected like 164s every now and then I come along and what little boy does not like Hot Wheels? And then my Hot Wheels turned into Lionel cars, and then here I am.
Right.
So
I don't have any kids myself. He's got a son, so I've been buying him like 164th. We saw your video of opening up the Christmas one. I got him the Advent calendar
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
So
the Smash
thought
one.
that was a pretty good deal.
It should be the one on top.
got all those.
Look on top
Yeah.
of the
Over there, the
124.
Chucks and the Xfinity are up there. From that
Yeah,
line
I have 2 daughters, and their favorite, one of their favorite, my oldest, her favorite is Suarez because he runs a purple car. So yeah, whatever's purple is her driver that race. My other one,
Just as
she's
logical a reason as anybody else.
yep. My other one, she's 2, and the only thing she likes is watching the cars go around. Like she's definitely probably going to be my tomboy. It's because she just likes the cars.
I'm not so lucky to have any of my kids actually interested in other than going to the races.
Oh well,
They don't
at
want
least you
collecting
got that. My wife, she used to act like she'd fake it. Nowadays, she's like, I'll just stay home.
Yeah, I got
Okay.
4 kids here. And,
Yeah,
wow.
my wife, she really likes going. So
I've taken the older 2 to a couple races. So,
Yeah,
fact-
you got to get him out there. We've had his son a couple times, and he's got to worked his way up to being all the way through a full cup race.
Mm-hmm.
heck yeah.
He's all about it. knows
My
things.
wife, we went to Kansas. No, that was Darlington, wasn't it? Kansas.
was up there.
Kansas. We went to Kansas, and she was 9 months
No, I
pregnant.
was not. I was
Wow.
7 or 8. Don't judge.
Oh my lord, 7 or 8 months pregnant. I'm sorry. So, and our seats
it's
were
a long
right
time and pregnant.
behind the flag booth.
Oh yeah.
So we had to walk up the steps every time, and about
Oh.
every 15 minutes, she's like, "I gotta use the bathroom." Yeah,
There was hot
She was a
water in the booth
trooper.
to sit down.
but
Maybe that's why the kid likes it.
Yeah,
Probably
she-
heard it in the belly
maybe.
and just knew
either
what
that or
was
she
going on.
sees our living room every day and hears me talk about it constantly. So she's probably like, "I guess I better like it because I'm stuck
Get on
with
board, right?
it."
Yep.
But anyway, that moves on to our next question. What is your Holy Grail diecast?
Ooh. Holy Grail diecast. Oh man, it's one of these. Let me move our cameras again. I've got some of the better ones over here in a case beside of us. If I can find how to use the button.
I love y'all guys' setup, by the way. It is
I don't
awesome.
think see that. No.
We're not close enough to have it set up like that.
Well,
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's a
no,
really
it-
long table.
I have downgraded to just having Larson diecast the race wins. So I guess mine would be his first Cup win at Michigan. So yeah, because I kind of got rid of everything except my Larson wins. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably the one for that 2015 Gordon win with Logano. Think of that, or my very first. Now, I never went to a Cup race my entire life because I was poor,
Yeah.
too poor to go to a Cup race. So the first Cup race I ever attended was 2011
It's
Bristol,
up here.
and so Kyle Busch, who happened to be my favorite driver, won 2011 Bristol. And so that car is pretty awesome to my first Cup race, and it was my driver and stuff. So that's a pretty good one.
So I can assume you have the Bush sweep.
I'd sold actually. Well, no, I take that back. I have Sweep 2 because I was there. I didn't go to Sweep 1, so I actually sold it.
I got
Right
you.
now, I've only got cars that I was at the races of.
I got
I
you.
have to come up with categories of ways of talk. Well, if I just like my this, then that way I can just easily get out of it a little bit. It's a
That's
process.
what I do with the track cars.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine, he has a bunch of track cars that we didn't really go to, and I was like, they look nice, but I don't need them because I wasn't there, and it's just an excuse so I don't add more.
Yeah, me too. I was buying all kinds of stuff and just
Oh, yeah.
getting carried away.
That's my problem. Like I see sites like the Racing Warehouse and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, that's a good deal. I'll just go ahead and buy it.
Right.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
in fact, what was it? Last week's episode, not Monday's, but last week's. I was trying to order while we were doing the podcast. So I was like, oh, wait, here. But,
Yeah. Half the podcast he's scrolling through his phone trying to find stuff to buy.
Yeah,
Oh,
they had
that's
a pretty
fine.
good sale. A week
oh
or
yeah,
two
they
ago, I
just
thought I
today
saw.
they had the fire suit sale,
Oh,
which
okay.
wasn't bad.
Oh.
So
That's
my
good.
wife-
I had like 6 different fire suits, and I sold. Well, no, that was 6 crew suits. I had 4 driver suits. I sold all of them too. So if anybody out there is watching needs a deal on mannequins, I have some mannequins for sale. Contact us at.
I might have to hit you up like at the beginning of next year because we're moving to a bigger house,
Well,
and
you come by Bristol, I'll send you home with 6 mannequins if you're in need
Oh.
of major mannequin setups.
my wife wanted me to show you this. This is her Holy Grail piece that we got a pretty decent deal on. It's the chrome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
Kevin Harvick.
Yeah.
Yeah, we spent 50 on it. Yeah, it's the elite. So
Yo.
But-
It's got all
Okay.
it's his rookie year too. So
Yeah.
it's
Showed
got the
you
rookie
mine
stripes
already.
on the back, and
I got the one that's not chrome.
yeah, we also have the
regular. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My signed Jimmy Johnson one is my holy grail.
There you go.
I'm gonna say this like right now I have 2 that I have that are like my prized ones that I would count, and then one of them was the Herzog car that I was telling you guys about, the custom, and then I finally got my Daytona 500 Lionel from or from Lionel in December after ordering it in February. So it finally came, which I'm a little upset because mine was
Oh yeah, we were at
mine
that
was a
one.
little damaged.
We were at that Darlington. That was a cool.
Yeah,
one.
that's a beautiful scheme right there.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Uh,
there it is. So I'm kind of running down on questions here.
Well, that's fine.
Let's see here. Oh,
While you're looking, let me ask you this. Let me just interrupt.
Go
How
ahead.
y'all feel about Ty Dillon? Are y'all big Ty Dillon fans like we are?
I think he's okay. Honestly, in my opinion, he's the better of the Dillon brothers. At first, if I asked me,
maybe. You know,
you
you can see we keep a Ty Dillon diecast on the table at all times, just for luck. But we treat it well. Justin, show them, like, you know, how we go about this.
Oh,
so
beautiful.
some diecast we find using this. What I wanted to bring up is they're much more sturdy than you would think. You know, I've been babying them for years and keeping them in locked cases in total darkness. We got this one and started beating it with a hammer, and it did nothing to it. And I'm like, dang, maybe we've been going way too hard with these things.
Yeah.
So apparently you could throw them around or whatever you want to do.
I have
But Ty Dillon.
I have my first diecast that it's been completely smashed. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's from years of being around a little boy that loves playing with cars.
There you go.
Yeah,
It's going to happen. There's going to be wrecks.
Oh yeah. I think
Sorry.
he'll have to return to the garage, honestly. But
I got a couple of
yeah,
messed up ones too.
I like Ty Dillon better than I like Austin Dillon. And the only reason I'm gonna say that is when we met him, he was very like standoffish, and you could
Austin
tell he
was?
did. Yes,
Yeah.
he
see
did
that.
not want to be there at all. Like Truex, he was really cool. You know, he wanted
Yeah.
to talk to us a little bit. In fact, like he was asking about the hat and stuff, and he was very cool. And then Austin, he was not. He just signed it
Yeah.
and smiled, and then hurry up and go.
Yeah.
We've ran into a few like that, you know. Some of them, and I guess sometimes it depends on what day you catch them, you know,
Yeah,
what
sure.
kind of mood they're in.
Yeah.
I'll be there eventually. But I thought you were gonna ask about Ty Gibbs, and I was like, ugh.
Yeah, he's been making plenty of enemies, it seems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come back to him.
I mean, when you got Papaw's money on the line,
Hey.
Hey, can we show y'all something?
let's see
Hold
it.
on. I don't know if we. Oh no. Yep, there it is.
There it is.
Here's a new graphic we just made. Papa
Oh
approved.
yeah,
So
Hey.
we're gonna save that for Ty.
I love it.
Man, he got that car airborne, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I bet he was hurting the next day.
I bet he was. Kind of makes all that safety NASCAR put into everything kind of be like, well, dang, you can do
You're gonna do
45 and
that.
sideswipe somebody and fly in these things.
Man,
I wonder if they're gonna bring down anything on him. They said they were gonna talk to him.
There should be something.
Yeah.
I mean, that was hard.
Do you guys know what Logano was fussing at him about at the end? Because we didn't never hear any audio about it. Okay.
I don't personally know.
I don't know.
Yeah, we were just
I
kinda-
don't even-
There's
Yeah.
pictures of like Logano talking at him hard,
Yeah, hard.
at the hauler, but we haven't heard anything about what it was about or
No.
anything. So
I don't know,
I
there
did
was
see
someone- Go ahead.
I did see the picture of Burt Myers waiting at Ricky Stenhouse's hauler though.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Hey.
Little payback from last year, you know.
yeah. Are you a Ricky fan, being from Mississippi?
I am not.
No.
No. I haven't decided who I am gonna go for full time yet. After Jimmy,
Yeah.
I've kind of migrated over to Legacy just
Right.
because he's
Yeah.
owner.
Yeah.
But specific driver, I haven't really settled down on one yet.
Get
So,
it. Yeah.
Man,
It's
can
hard
I
to figure it out.
Can I take a second and say Jones was looking pretty decent during the clash, though?
Yeah.
He was.
I
Nemechek
believe Eric
wasn't far
Jones. I
behind
really
him
do.
either.
Eric Jones, especially Darlington, he can win races.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Darlington he loves
He
it.
won. He won at the one. No, I take that back. He did not. He won at the one before we got there. But honestly, I hope Legacy's a little better this year. They've been kind of slacking, which I mean, I get it. They're a new
much
team.
worse.
I don't expect, greatness out of the first few years. But coming from Johnson fans, I really hope that they
Yeah.
do good.
Yeah. He's got a way to go.
Oh, yeah.
I thought honestly it would be better than it was at the Clash. Truthfully, the Clash, I was like, ugh. It made me think maybe they're still off more than I thought they would be. I thought maybe Jimmy getting full control, it'd be a little more get at it. But it takes time. That just happens.
It does.
It does that, and I'm gonna say this: when your boss lives literally on the other continent, it
Yeah,
kind of
right.
it doesn't really hurt to
Right.
have a boss that's there every day and know
Yeah,
what's going
I
on.
agree. I went to Ireland for Christmas this year, me and my wife, and we
Oh.
were in London in the airport, and I'm like, if Jimmy Johnson is flying home for Christmas or something, this is the best opportunity in the world to run into Jimmy Johnson in the London airport. And nobody else is going to know who he is in London airport, so I'm going to get to sit down and talk to him.
His
I'm guessing
wife,
it didn't happen though.
his wife's family was from the town that's like right. We're
Oh,
basically I'm on the outskirts of it.
Oh, wow.
So like I am acquaintances with a lot of her family.
Yeah,
So like when all that happened a couple years ago, it was nuts around here. Like
I bet so.
there was reporters everywhere, and I was like, dude, then why? You know what I mean? Like it was to the point where like the family wouldn't come outside. Like it was bad.
Man.
Dang.
But
That's rough.
yeah, I was just I wish that I could get a hold of some of those acquaintances and set up like a little meet and greet because I mean I go to church with his wife's aunt.
Oh, yeah.
So like I'm just saying,
There you
family
go, yeah.
dinner comes around, I'll pay good money for a seat.
Right?
It doesn't even have to be in person for me. Just let them
No, just give me a
video
Zoom
call
call
set up.
something.
Right.
Man, but
Let me ask him
no.
some questions.
Oh yeah. I'm out of questions, guys. So if you have anything you want to talk about, ask us, anything.
We covered a lot.
Yeah.
You want to talk about like
That was the only thing I was going to ask you guys. And you kind of explained it a little bit there. Was since you guys are both JJ fans, I was like, do you guys think? What do you think? Can he kind of turn legacy around a little bit? So, but you guys already kind of talked about that a little bit anyway. So.
I'm gonna go out a little
Hope
bit
is
further.
alive.
I hope within time it gets better.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think Jimmy's really good at like marketing the team, but as
Mhm.
far as like driving and everything, and like if you just look at his career since he like retired and come back, it's not looking good for Johnson.
No, not for,
not for him.
It's
looking rough for Jimmy.
He's almost wrecked every race for some reason.
Like,
Yeah,
I was
I
so
think-
disappointed. What was it, Coda last year? Like he didn't get to finish lap 1, did he?
No,
Or
it
is
was like
your-
2 laps in and he got yeah.
I'm like, dang, man.
I will say though that the best quote unquote race I seen with him in it was a few years ago when he did the 500. It might have been last year where he raced in the duel and him and Yaley were.
Yeah.
Well, that was the best like racing I've seen from him in a hot minute.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That was good.
But as far as like legacy, at least in my opinion, I think they're going in the right direction. I just think it's going to take a little bit more time because I mean they've had to work through what Petty was doing and all that, and it just kind of stopped abruptly. And I see that it probably take a couple more years before they're ready to start winning races.
I just thought Toyota would like be like a really
Oh, yeah.
big jump. Like
So did I.
I thought they would like push more at them or something. But again, it doesn't matter. A team's a team, no matter what your manufacturer is. So there's a lot to work out. Jimmy's trying to do that. I have no doubt they'll be successful.
It was one of those things that like Toyota only had like 2 main teams, and Chevy and Ford both had 3 or 4. So you're like, they could develop more resources for them. But I think it all boils down to like these guys went from driving Chevys to Toyotas, and those cars are significantly different, at least from what I can tell. Like, so I think it's just
And that last Chevy year, Chevy just cut them off.
Oh yeah,
like
it was
like
you could tell
the season. I mean, it was.
Yeah,
you could tell at the end of the season they just fell off big time.
It was rough,
I feel I'm gonna say this, and I hate saying it, but I feel like if they were not just their own team and like a cutoff of Joe Gibbs or something, I think they'd be more in contingency.
Yeah.
Kind of like I had a team and now it's gone. Help me out here, Voodoo.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the teams that are
my wife's been
associated.
trying to get me to read her mind for a long time, and I haven't figured it out yet.
Oh, man,
I'm the same way. I think of something that I'm like, it's
RFK and Penske. That's kind of what I was thinking of.
Yeah. I get
Something like that. If they would have done that, I think they would have been a little bit more competitive, I guess.
Yeah.
But
they're trying to do it all themselves, though.
Oh yeah. So they're not really getting any help from anybody but Toyota, and Toyota can only give them so much.
I think, I don't think. I hope. Let's say that. I think a lot of it, the being by yourself, and plus also they're up in Statesville, right? Isn't that where their shop is? I think they're in Statesville. I think a lot of that had to do with the Allegiant airplane guy. The what's his face? It starts with a G. What is his last name?
Gallagher.
Yeah. The comedian. That's him. He's the one who owned it. Right. He had them. I think he was a little more separate from the racing community as a whole than Jimmy is. Jimmy's so much more plugged in. So this year, him taking over full control, I think that's really going to be a big difference, honestly.
I hope so.
Hopefully. Yeah. And the other thing is, at this point last year, we knew that he was going to be in 9 races last season.
Oh, yeah.
He only has the 2 announced for this season. So it sounds like he's at least taking a step back from that to try and maybe focus that on.
Well, even when he did his interview, he was saying that he didn't want his racing to impede the other 2. So maybe that's kind of what he was nodding at. He's going to try to step out and become more of that boss. So
I hope they do well. I've always liked Eric Jones. I've got a shirt, 43 shirt. I got a 42 hat at Dega last year. They were on sale, and I said, I'm going to get me a 42 hat. And I did, because it was only like $5. I said, I'm not going to pass up that deal. So I've got all the merch. I'm ready to go.
All of my legacy stuff is Jimmy Johnson stuff, but
I actually started to buy
you have that neck thing that's John Hunter.
Oh yeah, it's back. Yeah, right back there.
Like a tie.
I don't know if you can tell it.
It's like the thing that you get when you.
Oh, the lanyard deals. Yeah.
Okay.
John Hunter seems like a nice guy too.
I feel like if he would have went with Joe Gibbs instead of Legacy, I think he'd have been an absolute force.
Yeah,
because he was in Xfinity.
I thought he would be the one who would get the 19, honestly, but I don't know.
I think Chase is going to follow up real nicely in that 19.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Stuart Haas guys, out of those, which one do you think is going to do best in their teams?
Chase.
Chase. I don't know. I'm thinking Priest. I think Priest is going to do pretty good in his RFK.
I think Ryan Priest is going to win a race now. I think he's going to do good. I think that 19, he's going to make at least the round of 8. I honestly suspect 3 wins, like something like that. I think he's going to come out big this year. I really think he had a lot more talent than the 14 car was giving him, able to do.
And I think Josh Berry is going to have the most struggles.
Probably.
He definitely. I would either say a lateral move or maybe a slight bit of a downgrade. But
I think he downgraded, honestly.
I mean, it's supposed to be a Penske car, but they definitely, anytime they're testing something, the 21's getting it. So
yeah,
he was pushy the other night at the Clash, man. He literally people. Yeah. So
man, I think that's just his aggressiveness, though. I think Josh Berry is a very aggressive driver. I just hope that 21 can keep up with his style, honestly.
Hopefully it'll be interesting to see.
But all right.
Well, this has been awesome, fellas. We appreciate y'all asking us
y'all
to come on and everything.
This
is our first guest appearance anywhere with you guys, so happy that happened. And definitely I have to have you guys come by and see us or hop in. Definitely, we need to meet up in Talladega and film something crazy. So
that would be a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for coming in. I know I kind of hit you kind of weird. I was like, I'm just gonna shoot them an email. It's on their Facebook.
Yeah, heck yeah. That's what I say. Go for it when these things happen.
The worst you can say is no. So.
Right? Yeah.
As far as the RHPD podcast, y'all are our first guests on here too.
Oh yeah.
First for everybody. We're doing great.
Right?
Hey.
Yeah.
After our failure on our Discord, and it turned out great. So I'm glad you guys had this just kind of chambered.
Yeah, we're trying to we have to have a backup system. We found in our first year, especially in a little bit the second, something goes wrong every single week for us.
Oh, yeah.
Every show. Our whole thing is just fix one thing every show that broke the last show, and maybe it'll get better one day. But so
that's what I do. Just slowly.
We have redundancies in place for everything.
Oh yeah.
But all right. Well, thank you guys.
Now I know something to work on for next one.
I'm going to see if I can remove myself here and let you guys close out your show without us taking up your. I don't know how to do this. So y'all can cut all this out, can't you? It's just us.
Hi.
Let's make a. Maybe I can't make one. Oh.
If not, I can just read our outro and we'll call it good.
Okay. Sorry.
No, you
may have moved us around. How about that?
Hey, that works. But, all right, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of RHPD. Thank you to our special guests. I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely have enjoyed it. It's fun getting around with other fans, and who knows, it sounds like we might have another date where we'll be talking to them just the same. So I'm going to go ahead and read us out, and then I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you for writing if I can read, I'm sorry, guys. Thank you so much for riding shotgun with us on this episode of RHPD. Remember, checker flag. Thanks for watching. That's all you're getting now.
Awesome. That's a good way to